Jai Gajanan. Ganeshaya Namastuvyam, Herambaya Ekadantini, Swanandavasini Tuvyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha, Gananaham Tva Ganapatiyam Havami, Tadunka Vinam Pamasravastamam, Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspathanastambhan Notabasi Sadhanam, Om Maha Ganapataye Namaha, Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Hari Om. So we begin with where we left off yesterday. We were discussing about the Rajoguna, how the Kshipta. Kshipta is a tendency of the mind where Rajoguna is predominating. And when it is carried to the extreme, how it creates a lot of problems and confusion. An example we take from the Mudgal Purana itself about the Kashi Vishweshwara, where Yagnavalkya is discussing the story, narrating the story to Vishwamitra. And we had come to the portion where King Devodasa, who is a Kshatriya, he's been requested by Brahma Deva to take over the ruling of Kashi. And Shiva was sent to Mount Mandar to take care of his disciple Marichi. So here we see Divodasa, he puts a condition that there will be no Devas who will rule the kingdom of Kashi, who will rule the kingdom of Kashi. It will be left to the human beings, it will be left to him as a king. And so the Devas leave one by one. They begin to test him. How, if they disappear, what will happen? And so one by one, Agni, Vayu, all of them disappear. But Divodasa, because of his power of penance, he assumes their roles. He becomes Agni, he becomes Vayu, he becomes all those different elements, and still everything is going on fine. So everything is going on very well. And the Devas themselves are surprised. The Devas in heavens, they say, how is this that Devodasa is continuing to perform so well, even though we are not there? What are these powers? So they feel that they have lost their own powers. They feel that their status has gone now. They feel helpless. And so they approach Brahma Deva and they say, what are we to do? How we have lost, we seem to have lost our position. Please restore our status. So then Brahma Deva advises, go to Divodasa, ask him. He's a very kind person. He is compassionate. He will definitely listen to your request and he will be able to restore you to your positions. So accordingly, Indra and all the Devas, they approached Divodasa. He immediately honored them. He bowed to them. He respected them, offered them seats and asked, what is the problem? Then when they told them that this is our condition, see, we have lost our position, we have lost our status. So we want you to give us back our powers and restore our status. We find that you have assumed all our status and you are performing all our functions. We want us to be restored to our positions. Like what if the one prime minister assumes that I will be also the finance minister, I will also be the defense minister, I will also be this and I will also be that, then what confusion will happen? So that the others will feel like puppets, they won't have any role to play. So that's how the same thing had happened here. So Divodasa agreed and he says, okay, I will restore all you to your positions. And he assumed only one form, that of a human being. So Agni and other devas established themselves in their respective positions. Now here in Mount Mandara, Shiva is there with Parvati. Marichi has already been absorbed, means he became Sayujya Samad liberation. He attained Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. And then Shambhu was left there lamenting because Kashi has, Brahmadeva told, Kashi has already been given to Divodasa now. You are relieved of Kashi, so you have to continue staying here. So Shambhu was worried. He was still lamenting, "Oh, my Kashi, I'm separated from Kashi, my town, and all that." Um, but he couldn't do anything because now the king is ruling very well. He's following all the dharmas, and all the people are happy. The subjects are happy. So when Maheshwara was this lamenting in this manner, the Devas, Rishis, and Munis, and all that place, they tried to pacify him. Do not worry unnecessarily, Maheshwara. With your blessing, we will go to Kashi and we will entice those subjects with various siddhis and induce them to commit sins. We will ensure that the onus of these sins falls on Divodasa, and then you can gain. See, the Devas, the Rishis and Muni, the Devas and all, they sort of connived to go to Kashi, make the subjects commit sins, and then when they commit sins, naturally they'll blame the king. So the king can be removed and Shiva can get back Kashi. This was what their idea was. So saying that the Devas went to the Rishi, went to Kashi, they all went to Kashi and they tried to induce the people to commit sins. Means give up your dharma, don't do the yajna. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And so they tried to remove them from their duties, but none of them were perturbed. None of them were shaken. They were very steadfast in their righteousness, just as the king naturally, Jaisa Raja, Vaisa Praja. So when the king was so strong, they were also observant of their dharma, Varnashrama dharma, and so none of them were shaken. The Devas, Rishis, and Munis, all of them went back. Then finally, Aditya, Vasu, Rishis, thereafter, then what happened? So they were all of them returned back. Finally, Shankara was helpless. Shankara found that even these people couldn't do anything. So Shankara prayed to Brahma Deva. Again, went back to Brahma Deva. He told Brahma Deva, "See, now you have brought me to this Mount Mandara. I am feeling the separation from Kashi, and I don't know what to do. Kashi is being ruled by Divodasa, but I want to go back to Kashi. So please help me." So then Brahma Deva said, "Okay, now you pray to Ganesha. Ganesha, Ganadyaksha, he only can do something." So Shiva prayed to Ganesha, Ganadyaksha, and for a thousand years, he prayed for 1,000 years, and then Ganadyaksha was pleased and he manifested before him. So he says, "Oh Lord, please reunite me with Avimukta." Avimukta is Kashi's another name. Kashi's another name is Avimukta. Avimukta means that which is never forsaken. Kashi is something which is never forsaken by Shiva. So at the same time, so then Ganesha said, "Okay, Tatastu, I will make out some way in which Kashi is restored to you." At the same time, Kashi is also meditating. Kashi as a living person. Means in those days they had an individual embodiment which they also as gods were able to pray. So she also meditated on Ganesha and said, "You have my name is Avimukta. That is that I cannot be separated from Shiva. But then this is my condition. I'm totally without Shiva. So what am I supposed to do?" So Ganesha manifested before her also, and he assured her, "Don't worry, we will find out some way, and I will make some arrangement wherein Kashi and Vishweshwara come together again, and um, um, that previous situation, if not into the previous glory, some amount of glory is restored." So here Shankara, when Shankara manifested before, when Ganesha manifested before Shankara, Shankara is extolling Ganesha. So even that extolling of to Ganesha, that is, "You are Chaturbhuja," means all his, how he appeared. He appeared on a lion with the Ankush, goad, the blessing of fearlessness and everything. So he was pleased, and Ganesha, out of his body, he manifested one human being, a Brahmin, and he was called Dundiraj. Dundiraj. This Dundiraj was a Brahmin who is an astrologer, who is proficient in astrology. So Ganesha instructs Dundiraj, go to Kashi and you try to capture the imagination, win over the people of Kashi, win over all the people of Kashi, and um, so he goes to Kashi, and with all his prowess, that is, you can, Dundiraj as an astrologer, he will do forecasting. He will be able to tell the future of the people. And in that way, he attracted the people of Kashi, and they were believing in him, and they started not worshipping. Actually, he found a place of respect in that Kashi. At the same time, Ganesha goes to Vishnu, and he tells Vishnu, you also go to Kashi, you go as Buddha. Okay, you assume the form of Buddha and go and create confusion. Go and create confusion among the people. So that if you create confusion, the people's mind will be deluded and corrupted. So now here, Yagnavalkya is narrating this to Vishwamitra. He says, Kashi, oh ascetic Vishwamitra, Kashi was also meditating on Ganapa. She meditated for 1,000 years, and Ganesha manifested in front of Kashi, as I already told you. So there, Ganesha manifested before Kashi. Then Kashi, the one who purified subjects who were deeply agonized and tormented with worry, stood up and prostrated before Kashi. She also extolled, and because of this combined effect of both Kashi as well as Shiva, Ganesha found this via media by creating one person called Dundi Maharaj as an astrologer, and he went and he enticed the people of Kashi. He also had instructed Vishnu and told him to create confusion in the minds of the people. So, in these ways, two opposing forces started working in Kashi. Kashi Maharaj, that is Divodasa, is continuing. He is working there with all righteousness. I had told you how his daily rituals. He began with the worship of Ganesha, and then Kashi and Vishweshwara, Kashi, Manikarnika, Bhadra, Bhagirathi, and all that process he is also following. People are also doing their Varnashrama Dharma, but these two people who have been sent by Ganesha, both Dhundi Maharaj, the astrologer, and Vishnu as Buddha, created opposing conditions in the minds of the people of Kashi. Okay, so Yagnavalkya is telling Vishwamitra, the Brahmin named Dundi, whom I had referred to earlier, who was intellectual and proficient astrologer, went to the city of Kashi obeying Ganesha's orders. He enchanted the entire city in a moment. Following him, Vishnu as Buddha corrupted the city. Dundi advised Devodasa to renounce the kingdom of Kashi. He obeyed and adopted Buddhism and waited for the darshan of Shiva. Now, finally, after captivating the minds of everybody, Dundi Maharaj also captivated the mind of Divodasa, and he said, now your job is done. You worship Shiva. He also was introduced to Buddhism by Vishnu. Buddhism was introduced to Kashi king Divodasa by Vishnu, and Dundi Maharaj then said, now you worship Shankara for having his darshan. So then after doing all the setting, Dundi Maharaj and Vishnu invited Shiva. Shiva in from Mount Mandara. Now they say Shiva first, okay, Shiva arrives to Kashi. He went and he worshipped Ganesha, and then he performed his puja. And then after performing Ganesha's puja, he made that Dundi Maharaj, that Ganapa, the first resident of Kashi. Thereafter, Shiva, along with all the Devaganas and Rishis and everybody, they stayed happily there and occupied their respective positions. Shankara granted moksha to Divodasa. In reality, Divodasa, after he was he was relieved from his function of king and became Buddhist monk. He got the darshan of Shiva, and Divodasa finally was relieved from the city of Kashi. Mahadeva assumed his position as Kashi Vishweshwara. Then Mahadeva, what he did was he installed the idol of Vigneshwara and he started worshipping Vigneshwara. So Vishwanatha himself endeavored to make an idol of Dundi Maharaj, and in the presence of the Brahmins and Devas installed it. They prostrated and circumambulated the idol. Vishwesha, the Lord of the universe, so spoke to all those present. Listen to an important advice. I will be truly pleased with those who worship Dundi first and follow it with my puja. So Kashi Vishweshwara, the Shankara Shiva, he after installing Ganesha, idol of Ganesha, he instructed everybody that first worship Ganesha and then only worship me. Otherwise, you will not earn any rewards for all the pujas and and yagas, yagna yagas that you do. So this was the way in which Ganesha also became the first worship, and we all started worshipping Ganesha earlier when Shiva was predominant. When Shiva, the Shaivism was predominant, Shiva was worshipped first, but then it resulted in so much of confusion and chaos. Okay, so after saying this, Maheshwara himself dedicated himself to the worship of Dundi Raja. So now Vishwamitra, after listening to all the story of what Yagnavalkya was telling, Yagnavalkya said, listen to the story of Kashi Vishweshwara and how Kashi got separated from Shiva because of his neglect and how it was restored and what all the Devas, gods had to do to finally restore Kashi to Vishweshwara. So now Vishwamitra asks modestly, O Yagnavalkya, you have advised me correctly. I need more knowledge. See, Vishwamitra, he was a Raja Rishi. He wanted to become a Brahmin. He wanted to become a Brahma Rishi, but nobody was accepting him as a Brahma Rishi. So what he was supposed to do? So Yagnavalkya came and advised him, gave him the story. But still Vishwamitra is not convinced. Vishwamitra, he says, I need more knowledge. How can I forsake my ego? How do I recognize it? Where should I search for it within me? What are the rituals to be followed to worship Ganesha? You are a Yogindra, please describe all of that to me. So Yagnavalkya tells Vishwamitra, listen, I shall first describe your arrogance. First, your afflict. First, in the beginning, what he had told, you have to leave your ego aside, you have to leave your arrogance aside, pride aside, and you should also leave your sense of what was the other? Envy, jealousy. Then only I will tell you the story. Before beginning the story, only he had told him that you have to leave these two things aside, then only you will understand the story. So now he read, after telling the story, still Vishwamitra is unable to get that essence of it. So he tells him once again, I shall describe why you feel your arrogance. First, he was telling, keep your pride aside or arrogance aside, but he was not able to understand. So now he says, I'll tell you why you are feeling arrogant, why you are feeling this sense of arrogance. You possess that ego that you can acquire Brahminhood by austere penance. By doing all this penance, you feel that you can become a Brahmin. You are inherently born a Kshatriya. This very attitude is nothing but your arrogance. Okay. I shall tell you a definite way of forsaking it, of giving it up. Your thoughts should be, what you should think is, I shall strive to achieve Brahmanatva through austere penance. I shall try to achieve. But when the Lord will be pleased, he will grant it to me. And then I shall become a Brahmin. I cannot I cannot demand God. Now what he was doing, he did 24 lakh japas for 10,000 years, and then 10 times Brahma Deva manifested, and he kept on asking the same thing to the God. God is telling, Brahma Deva is telling, I can't give you that. So it's beyond his powers. His powers of granting Brahmanhood was only that much. He could not give to a Raja Rishi a Brahmanatva. But still he kept asking. So what he says is, you cannot expect, you cannot demand something from the Lord. You can only hope, or you can try to achieve that. You do your penance. तुम्हारा काम करो, फिर वो जो भगवान की इच्छा में है वो मिल जाएगा. So until this is bestowed upon me, I shall be content with Raja Rishitva. I shall be content with being Raja Rishi. Who am I to decide? So this humbleness is required. This acceptance of our own position, and we can strive. You may want to become a general manager. Now you may be an assistant general manager or a chief manager or divisional manager, whatever. You can hope to achieve, you can strive to achieve, pass exams, appear for interviews, but whether to give that position or not, it is in someone else's hands. It is not in your hands. If remember, who am I to decide? Has my penance been, inquire within, has my penance been deficient in any way? I am a human dependent on others. There is no doubt. If destiny is the decider, then I shall strive for it till my last breath. O wise Mahamuni, observe the penance with this frame of mind. I might say, yes, I have all the knowledge in this world. I have read so many books. I have done so much of writing books, or reading so many books. But if nobody is recognizing me as a guru, that is a destiny. There is some purpose in it. Accept that. Don't demand someone to treat you as a guru or to want to become that. So if destiny is the decider, then I shall strive for it till my last breath. O wise Muni, observe the penance with this frame of mind. You shall get everything when your ego is vanquished. Listen to another advice. See, when we are in these situations, put yourself in that situation and then think. You don't put someone else in that situation and think for them. Always put yourself in that situation, whether you are suffering from that deficiency or not. If you are not, then fine. There's nothing to do about it. It is God willing, right? You accept it, saying that it will happen in due course. It is God's wishes. Otherwise, that's not meant for you. That was not the path destined for you. You had come with some other life's purpose. That is the life's purpose you have to fulfill. You have to fulfill your life's purpose, not fulfill someone else's life's purpose. So, I was just remembering one incident in the office. Like I used to mention, when people used to ask, they say, what do you dream of? I said, I don't get any dreams. Then they will ask, where do you feel like going in vacation? Just offhand, I would say, okay, I would like to go to Leh Ladakh. I have heard of Leh Ladakh, and that's a place where there are lots of this Tibetan lamas and all. I find that they meditate a lot. So I would like to visit. But I would continue doing my work in the office, whichever branch I was posted. But this person, he goes and visits Leh Ladakh and comes. Now, whether this will fulfill any purpose, your purpose in life may be different, something else. But you try to ask someone else their purpose and you do that, it will not serve any purpose. right? Today, if we are in now as a nation, if we think of it, if we say a dream mooted by our PM, we want to become Vishwa Guru, and he tries to galvanize the whole country into becoming Vishwa Guru, and everybody from all platforms thinks they are Vishwa Gurus, and they start trying to preach wherever, whichever position, anybody and everybody, even the followers, means any at any post, they think they are Vishwa Guru. They begin to think because the brainwashed so much that our country has always been a Vishwa Guru for 5,000 years, 10,000 years. So we have a right to be the Vishwa Guru. And so you should all, I mean, it tells the world that you should treat us as Vishwa Guru. And he even goes and declares in the United Nations, we are the gurus of the world, or Vishwa Guru. Yoga, it's called as the yoga, the country of yoga and all. And then we expect the whole world to look at us as Vishwa Guru. But then, as individuals, have we risen up to that position? In those days, the rishis, munis, individually, they were actually equal to gods. I mean, see, imagine with Divodasa, he was only a human being. He was a kshatriya. But doing penance, he had risen himself to such a position, he was able to duplicate Agni Deva, Vayu Deva, and everybody. Means that was the position of the king of that country, of that Kashi at that time. Have you risen to that position that you are able to command that much of power? 80% are below poverty line. You are giving 80, how many, for 80 point some crores free 5 kilo ration. That means imagine if we have to give food to the people to for 5 years together, 5 years continuously. Even epidemic, corona is gone. After that, after another 5 years, we had to give. If we are giving, that means how many people are poor? When you are not self-sufficient even in physical food, the basic essentials of life, you can't think higher. Our mind cannot work to think elevated thoughts. To evolve to that higher level, we need to, all these other things should be fulfilled, should have been taken care of. Matlab, he must see, if somebody takes care of, somebody says, I will give you food. Okay. I will give you food. I will give you gas. I will give you house to stay. You just relax. Either person whose ambition is not fulfilled, he has an urge, he has a desire to set up one factory, he wants a position, he wants a status, he wants money, he wants to have a car, he wants to visit places, he wants to see people, he wants to travel abroad. These are all his desires coming up. You simply say, I will take care of your food. You sit home and cook, and we provide you free gas, free water, free toilet, everything. Whether we can become Vishwa Gurus like that? So whether we can become Vishwa Gurus like that? We may get our full needs fulfilled, but we cannot get to that position until we ourselves are qualified for that. For that, we must equip ourselves to be attuned to our own life's purpose. For that, we need to attune our mind mentally, and we should reach that level or position. So then so Yajnavalkya says, so strive for it. O wise Mahamuni, observe the penance with this frame of mind. It is no use only doing, sitting, doing, and japa and all. You have to get this frame of mind. Then you shall get everything when your ego is vanquished. Listen to another one advice. O Kaushika, Vishwamitra is a Kaushik, this, he says, Kaushik dynasty or Kaushik Gotra. So now he says the second thing, listen to one more advice.
Forsake the feelings of envy. Surrender to Ganaraja.
Surrender to Ganaraja.
So the second thing is 1 minute.